Right then, it's time for the Tracker going up against the Tracker Boy. Welcome back to the OE4 action, folks. We've got Recon, our trash panda, on the Byzantines going up against Tracker on the HRE. So, real Roman Empire versus the one that you guys all think is the real Roman Empire. Yeah, Recon's been pretty spicy on the Byzantines though, right? Like, Guy hasn't been as active as actually, like, almost every single one of the top 16 players in the game right now. And yet he comes in at a time when Byzantines is being played up the wazoo and innovates them in a way that other people just don't think. So yeah, pretty fun to actually see this. I'm wondering if maybe he's got some more experimentation in mind. We are just ahead of the second weekend of a major tournament where he's going to be playing again, this time against Vortex. So I imagine Recon is going to be leaning on these ideas of more aggressive playstyles. I think whenever you're looking at a showdown with Vortex, thinking straight away, I'm going to have to defend, is a quick way of losing a game. It's always easier to kind of make mistakes in a defensive position, I feel. Like, you think it would be harder because you've got the safety net of, like, the TC or whatnot. But at the highest level, like, the aggro party tends to be favored, right? Because they have map control, they can play under pocket resources, they can deny things like your gold, your wood, and they can take options away. And if Recon wants to actually be able to beat Vortex to keep his chances of making playoffs alive, he needs to prove that he can always be the guy setting the tempo here. What true Roman would enjoy olive oil? I mean, I don't know, dog. I'd say there's quite a lot of Romans that quite like their olive oil. Grand Winery coming in now for that exact reason? Wait, yeah, okay. I was about to say, please do not do Hippodrome in this matchup. Hippodrome is kind of a death sentence against HRE. The problem is marching drills. Like, you never get a good target with your horsemen. And spearmen chase you down really too quickly, so much better just to get the extra lombos as the backbone of your formation. It's still a bit dicey. I wonder if potentially we see jabs instead. Usually your lombos here, because once you're past the feudal age, the comp feels really good, right? Like going Varangian plus Lanzknecht, really nice. But the feudal age is hard, man. If you get bogged down, lombos get annihilated by marching drill archers. And yeah, this spawn is pretty nice. He has got the forward spawn in gold, though. That tree line is insanely tight, however. For the most, he has a pretty defensive setup. Like, he actually could just concentrate defenses on the south side and have every resource he needs. Like, the north side of this base is kind of irrelevant. All you need to really do is set up a short wall here with a palisade, and you're safe as can be. That, on the other hand, does not look pretty. Tracker is going fast castle. Yeah, he's not even being subtle about it. Interesting. So what is Recon's reaction to this going to be then? Because I don't think you can just fast castle yourself, right? Like, Byzantines have a fairly competitive time with the boosted eco, but it's still eclipsed by the ridiculous power that is the HRE. Keshik's in the fast castle? Keshik's isn't a bad idea. I mean, you can just rely on Varangian upon a tech up instead, right? Like, actually, what I've been surprised by more recently, in the last few months, when I've been watching Byzantine HRE reach Castle and Beyond, you'd think that HRE is favored with two-handed bases, as well as the, you know, the extra eco behind them, but I actually think Varangian spam has been kicking the crap out of them, which is still just a shocker to me after all this time. You want to check the mercs? Nah, Recon's not going to leverage that. It would have been Musafadi. It would have been Knights. Like, he's not that type of player that leans into that right now. It's kind of crazy as well, because he's usually quite a creative player. And you can't do it easily in this matchup either, with the neutral trade post being so far away, and the fact that you're up against a marching drill civ, it's kind of a death sentence to even go for it. Musafadi a great against HRE? No, Musafadi are actually a bait against HRE. There's a lot of things that sound like they'd be broken in merc form, but then you have to remember that scaling them is the problem, right? It's why French Knights actually haven't performed that well when we've seen them, par, I think, one crackety game where he was 50 minutes in. The issue is just spam, right? Like, you know, the whole idea of Musafadi itself, that is a spam comp. And you don't have the olive oil in the early mid-game to get spam online. That's why Lombos are so good. That's why Javelins are so good. Because they are units that will not die easily in a fight, right? They're the last thing to fall. So you throw the spam at the front line for them, and they milk the fight, and you can just keep scaling their numbers. It's why, actually, in general, most melee-type mercs don't come out until mid-late game. I think the one exception we've seen so far is Sipahi. And that's because Sipahi are horsemen, right? So they don't have to take a bad fight. They can always back away. Ostage is definitely on the way, though. And Recon looks like he is going to be going into the Limitane. With the Western contract. I mean, he might be able to block some relics here, right? Like, the logical opening play, this is a traditional fast castle build for the HRE, so we should be looking at a play straight away into a stables drop. Usually you can go quite quickly into 2. There's even some builds that allow for 3, but I don't think this is the one. This is just too fast of a castle for that. 7 now building it up. So with this in mind, does Recon just try to send it at him? There are some civs that you can ultimately punish so simply for fast castle. HRE is still one of those more kind of snaky ones. And the reason is that they just have a good enough economy at home to inflate into good military very quickly, right? Other civs trying to fast castle like this, by the time they're doing it, you probably have, 10 Lombos at least, you have 10 Limitane, and you're already halfway to their base. That's the difference with HRE. 40% buffed economy does this. Now, the negatives is if Tracker has to rely on someone like archers to defend, his eco line is very inefficient for wood gathering. Yeah, not just E-repairs is busted, the emplacements are busted as well. Eco now on the way, though, so Tracker is going to start to feel the pressure. Did he miscalibrate this? The wood gathering is underway, so he should get enough for a single production building, but one production building on its own shouldn't be good enough here. Yeah, because with it being Lombos, if you say, for example, go men-at-arms, you choose 1 racks, slow to pump up the units, and on top of that, you wouldn't have undermesh, right? First group are going to arrive now. Gold is actually idleable. I don't think it really matters here. Like, Recon needs to be targeting that wood. In fact, he sees all these workers, right? No, he sent the scout off to look for more sheep. What? I hope this was to actually scout out the relics, but it's kind of crazy now that he doesn't have this on the forward. So it looks like Recon is just going for the tech up. The problem right now is he's not in a position to necessarily stop relic grabbing, though. I mean, knowing where the relics are here, you'd expect him to sit on the west side of this tree line. Because you can camp the east with some Limitane and then sit in the west, right? In fairness, he's at least keeping track on the base for a moment, but looks like he has snuck out. I'm still confused by the scout. I actually think that Traco has been given a free breakout. It's wild because if Recon just keeps cycling back and forth on each side of the base, he has a very good chance of just starving relics away from his opponent, which is really important in this matchup because once you do reach castle yourself, not only do you have a very strong Varangian flood, but you have a way of flooding monks out into the field yourself. Sad first relic grad. 2 men-at-arms so far. Ooh, please do not build more than 2 more. So please definitely do not build more than 3 more. If he queues up 1 more men-at-arms, he will not have enough for veterancy. There we go. So he just min-max it. Wait, did he cancel something else? What happened to his gold? Alright. Looks like he's going to get back out there anyway. Golden Horn Tower now on the way. Oh, Prelate did get found though. Yeah, this outpost is kind of annoying, though. I don't think the Lombo can do it on his own, so he needs to get more troops there. And this could be really smart. If Traco now just pulls a Prelate to the west side, seeing this move, he gets another relic back home for free. Prelate. Ooh. Okay. That was good micro then. Recon will start stepping forward to stay in range for longer. So good blocker. Upgraded men-at-arms have now arrived, though, so this should push him away, and that should be a relic grabbed from both sides. Recon is about to have 15 Lombos, so sizable force to get into the veterancy quick with. One thing that Recon probably should be doing here is the Limitane should be blocking on the retreat. They're more tanky, and they are more disposable than these Lombos. They're just flat out running it. Oh, nice snipe there. Prelate does go down. So 1 relic now being banked. Gold trickle begins. Farm count is about to go up to 6, so should be a stable pump of men-at-arms. And this is where, instead of trying to aggro this directly with Rangin, Recon is just going to get the counter online before the mass gets too big. Crossbows being queued up. Interesting choice. I thought we'd be seeing Varangian. Looks like they are being laid in now. Veteran Sea also on the way, but I can clearly tell Recon has not switched Dialecticus. Yeah, people forget about this quite often. It might be he just doesn't see the rush for it and he'd prefer to have the Varangian spam a bit faster. Crossbows are starting to come out. So Traco needs to back away. This is a bad fight. Veteran CG just kicking as well, so it's about to be worse. Good timing as well, right? Monk now moving out. Traco doesn't see it. Oh, and I don't think he'll be able to get the central relic here. Whoops. Recon with the click straight towards it maneuver may actually find that backfiring as the Monk has been targeted. However, Tracker is throwing away a lot of men-at-arms here. I don't like this. He's buying time. He has got the central relic. This is looking like it's probably going to be a 2-3 split. Because there's too many men-at-arms dying here for you to maintain mid-map control, right? That being said, the Prelate, the timing here. I mean, Tracker could just make this a 4-relic game. Because right now, Recon is not peeling troops to go to the west. So the move here is going to be to go down the center and then wrap around on the west. So there's kind of a game of cat and mouse to be had here. Recon needs to make sure this is not a 4-relic game, because if it is, there's a hunker down from Tracker that leads to Imp. Ambitious little crossbow. Yeah, not really sure what the obsession with the house out here is. I guess he just wants to see if there's flank raids, but he shouldn't really care when he's walled in like this. Recon has at least revealed his forces here. So this is where Tracker probably just wants to just slow down a bit. Maybe go really far west and wait until he sees a move away to the east. Because otherwise, you're just going to feed the relic over. And yeah, he agrees. Tracker pulls it back. This is really good, actually, for blue right now. Recon has got more Lombos on the way, and we have got the olive groves laid around the winery now. We haven't got the big boy emplacements here, folks. We've only got arrow slits and nothing else. Sprills are now on the way. I don't know if that's going to be quick enough. Oh, misclick there by Tracker, sending way too many over to the outposts. Sprint placement's going to come in, right? Like, you won't be able to burn this down due to E-repairs. Lombos are going to dive in for the eco, though. Car Siphon being built. No time to waste, says Recon. We got to go fast. This is kind of cool, though, because he doesn't have a relic inside. The Car Siphon is the solid answer, because you can't do more than 1 damage per shot. E-repairs is going to be triggered, but at this stage, you just clown car inside, right? No, Recon is still going deeper. Mention repairs is running out soon. Lombos are going to dive past. Like, dude, just jump inside the Kyra Siphon. I don't think you need to overcomplicate this. Villagers are going to come out now. If you're going to get sniped down. Recon, he's found his timing. Undermesh also on the way. Kyra Siphon is going to start being targeted, but these men-at-arms are not quick enough, so the outpost is not going to survive. That's a big loss as well, because that's the protection for the farmlands. Kyra Siphon does just enough before being flopped. The farms at the back might be safe, but pretty much all the ones being buffed by the Archon are now at risk. Yeah, even with E-repairs, I notice people complaining about it, but even with E-repairs, like this game, can you really complain about HRE, or should you be complaining about the Byzantines, right? Like, this is the thing. Because he looks pretty slapped and done right now. I don't think Tracker has much in him. Food income is absolutely pitiful at this stage. And this is crazy. He did get the 4th relic home. I just don't think it matters. Repairs has come off cooldown at least. Unfortunately, this is not the Sprune replacement. If it was the Sprune replacement, he'd be doing extra damage past the 50 armor, right? So you kind of kill the Kara Siphon off slowly. This situation, he's not going to do anything. Man, Lansk also in the mixer. Your Bez is going to get triggered. It's kind of dumb that Recon can just sit here, but I mean, this is the power, right? Byzantine economy this strong at this stage with the system effect and the olive oil. And on top of that, the production speed allows him to keep numbers higher. Goes for the dive. Trackle's it's a cardinal sin these days. No wheelbarrow. Oh, he's starting to regret that. 16 eco kills. I can't help but feel this game is most definitely done at this stage. The fact he's just standing underneath this outpost like it's nothing. But then again, it's not a Springald, right? Like, I think if it was a Springald, that would have reset the game. But Trackle's investment into an arrow slit so early, I think, hurt him here. Knee repairs won't come off cooldown in time, so he'll just wave the white flag. Good timing by Recon there. Looked a bit shaky in that early game. The fact it was 4 relics looked good for a moment, but love the fact that he realized relics only matter if given space and time.